There are some herbs that are better absorbed when taken in form of tea. There are some herbs that are also better absorbed when taken in form of tinctures. There are also herbs that, or a condition that it will be better that you just apply the thing externally. Alright, so when making formulation for acute disease, the first thing that should be in that formulation, we're trying to look at the components now, we're breaking it down, is principal herbs. The next component of the formulation after principal herbs should be nutritive herbs. The next component of that formulation for acute condition is catalysts. Let's go over to chronic, principles for making chronic formulation. We will still come back to this to talk about how can we make sense out of these percentages and then bring it to application. We are going to deal with formulation. And before that, let me make mention that it's important to correctly diagnose the condition before you treat. It's very important. Thank God for NLS, with which you can easily and accurately diagnose a condition, and I thank God you're already learning the arts and science, the skill about that. It's very important. And the good thing is that it is non-invasive. So nobody's going to pierce you to bring out blood or something like that. So it's easier, quite easier. And from my practice actually, when people come with that, the result from the NLS and the result from the mainstream laboratories, put it together, most times they tally. So it shows that it is reliable. Okay, herbal formulation. We'll try to be as fast and slow as we can be, just for us to get the understanding. I want us to really give rapt attention to this, because it is really important and we form, the core of your practice all through in herbal medicine. Let us start by defining herbal formulation. What is it? Herbal formulation is actually a process of combining herbs. A process of combining herbs in their right proportion or ratio in order to enhance their synergistic effects or property. In order to enhance the synergistic property of the individual herbs to address a specific health condition. Yes, I said in order to enhance the synergistic property of the individual herbs to address a specific health condition. So before we continue, I think it will be a good time to just give us a bit of the answer to the question that was raised during Dr. Pedro's class. Yes.
I know you want to hear more details on the percentage ratio of principal herbs, nutritive herbs, and catalytic herbs used for treating various disease conditions. I know you want to know how many spoons will be needed for each of these herbs that will last for 1 month dosage. I know you want to hear many more examples of principal, nutritive, and catalytic herbs that you can easily access in your neighborhood. I know you want to learn the protocol for preparing herbal remedy for chronic conditions. I know you want to know the over 80 plants that can be used to treat various acute and chronic disease conditions which were itemized in this course. I know you want to learn how to prepare tinctures, ointment, essential oils and the likes. I know you want to see pictures and identify plants for treating various disease conditions. Hang in there. You can surely access all these information in details, only if you take the next step of subscribing for the full curriculum of our Natural Medicine Online Masterclass course. What are you waiting for? Subscribe now.
He brought some preparation. I mentioned garlic, ginger, correct. So all of those things are combinations. We combine it in such a way that you will have a better result. Why didn't they do just turmeric or just ginger? And if you go further, there are some that we put percentage, composition of each of those combinations. All those things, they are not just from the vague. If you know what you are doing, it is from a principle. You put those things together. So why it was able to deal with his challenge that evening is because of the properties of those herbs. For example, ginger, the turmeric, the garlic there. So these things, these plants have got anti-inflammatory properties. And when this adds to this, work together. In synergy, it is 1 + 1 is not equal to 2. That is additive effect. In synergistic effect, you can have 1 + 1 equals to 100. So it means what this herb could achieve alone and what this herb could achieve alone. This may achieve 20%. This one, if you use it alone, you have 50%. So when you add them together, you'll be expecting 50%, right? But no, in synergistic effect, it can be 80, it may even be 100%. Okay, so what happened was that the anti-inflammatory property of those components came together to deal with the inflammation that had been triggered as a result of stress, of him traveling down, standing here, talking, and maybe there may be pain in some of the areas. And these plants have got an analgesic property as well. Analgesic is a property that helps to relieve pain. And then there's what we call adaptogens. Adaptogens are herbs that are able to bring about a restoration. They reset the body to come to remove the stress and give you, an enhanced state of health. So that is what happened. And this combination have got those properties. So when taken, you will get the result. So like he said, you can do more research and get other benefits of that. So we just defined herbal formulation. So let's look at what are the factors to look at when dealing with herbal formulation. The factors to consider when making a herbal formulation. Number one is the quality of the herb itself. The quality. Have you done how you harvest herbs, how you process them, how you do all that? Okay. Maybe in the master class you will do that. So the quality of herb is very important. Two people can be using the same herb and having different results. It can be just because one of them has a better quality of the herb than the other. So it's important. That is why when you go to buy herbs, drugs, for example, there are some with substandard quality, which NAFDAC is trying to fish out. While there are some that are even expired, but repackaged. It's business, and but bad business. So the quality is very important. The way you handle it from harvesting to processing, to packaging, and storage is very important. That is one. Another one you should also consider is, bioavailability. Bioavailability. We mentioned an example using curcumin the other time in turmeric. And we said, when you are using turmeric and you are looking at the benefit of curcumin, if you take it alone, you won't get as much from it because most of it will not be available for the cells of the body to utilize. You get it? So if you take maybe 100%, you may be having just 40. But when you now improve by enhancing the bioavailability, bringing out this curcumin and making it available to the cell, you have a better result. And this is from formulation. So formulation will help you to enhance the bioavailability. So bioavailability is a factor to consider. Another one is absorption. How these medicinal components are absorbed in the body. Formulation. So this will also inform the method of administration. This will also inform the method of preparation of the herbal material of preparation. For example, there are some herbs that are better absorbed when taken in form of tea. There are some herbs that are also better absorbed when taken in form of tinctures. We have a class of tinctures. There are also herbs that, or a condition that it will be better that you just apply the thing externally, directly to the surface. So this will inform how you are going to go about, preparing the combination, the method, and then the application is also important. Another one you also consider, of course, in formulation is the condition, the specific health condition you are dealing with. The way you make preparation for malaria can be different from the way you make preparation for diabetes. So the condition in question is also very important when dealing with formulation. Another one is side effects. I know some may have said that using herbal medicine does not have side effects. I don't believe that actually, because I know it does have side effects if you don't use it appropriately. It is just like water. As simple as water. If you don't take it properly, you will have problems. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so side effect also is a factor to consider when making formulation. For example, there are some plants that their toxicity can be high, but you need it for this formulation. And there could be something to do to douse that toxicity so that it is reduced. You are enhancing, or your interest is on the therapeutic activities of that plant, while at the same time reducing the side effects. So that will inform how you go about making your formulation. Is that fine so far? All right. 5. Okay, I actually said, is that fine? All right, let's go. We are now trying to delve into formulation. But before that, let's look at diseases. Because the way we deal with this disease will be different from the way we deal with other diseases, depending on the type. So, broadly speaking, diseases are classified based on duration, into acute and chronic diseases. We we have recurrent, we have remitting, we have reoccurring, types of diseases. But based on duration, let's classify them broadly into acute and chronic. Now, acute diseases are diseases that are usually short-term. The duration, the lifespan of that disease is very short. It usually ranges from 1 day, few hours, to 6 weeks. There can be some acute anyway, but let's take it a broad line, acute and chronic. So as a ground rule, any disease that lasts less than 3 months is said to be acute here. You get it? And more characteristics of acute conditions is that they are usually very vigorous. Their manifestation is very active. For example, you see somebody with malaria shivering, you can see the body actually shaking, the temperature is high, vomiting. Those things are what I mean by very vigorous, active. Why? Is because in acute conditions, the body's vital force, the healing power, the cells, the tissues, the organs, the systems, many of them are still very active. So they are working to fight, to ward off those causative factors that can result to the condition. And most of those acute conditions are as a result of, say, microbial infection, can be injury that can result to that. Look at malaria, for example. It is caused by what? By what? Plasmodium falciparum. So that is the microorganism. When you have a cut, a very small cut, what causes that? It's just injury. A lot of things cannot come in. If it is not properly managed on time, it can actually lead to something big. But if it is managed within a short period of time, it can just be acute and then you are done. Let us say at this point that many acute conditions, if they are not properly managed, can lead to chronic conditions. So chronic diseases now are diseases that have lasted for at least 3 months. So any disease over 3 months is classified under chronic. So in chronic disease condition, most times the body's organs, so many of them have been weakened, because underlying every chronic condition is a sustained chronic inflammation. You get it? So the inflammation that have been taking place over time may have spread, affecting the functionalities of different organs in the body. And this will in turn reduce the strength of the vital force in the body. I mean the healing mechanisms of the body. Yes. I said, because of the underlying chronic inflammation with all chronic diseases, there is a spread of this inflammation to different organs of the body. And that will reduce their functionality. And that also invariably will reduce the way your body, try to resist this situation, because those vital force has been reduced. It also means most times that the immune system have also been affected. The immune system is low. Good. And Are we all together now? Yes. Great. So examples of chronic conditions, can we mention just two?
Diabetes.
Cancer, diabetes. All right, great. What about for acute? Malaria, typhoid. Great. So that is good. I think we understand what we are saying now. Now this is on the ground we are going to approach herbal formulation. So we are going to look at how to make herbal formulation for chronic diseases and how to make herbal formulation for acute diseases. So let's start with acute. Acute. Principles for making formulation for acute diseases. Alright, so when making formulation for acute disease, remember I said that the life force is still very strong, the body is strong. They are trying to even complete in the process of trying to ward it off. So the body can take strong things, you get it, at a go to help us take off this pathogen that is causing this, take off this bacteria, take off this fungi, and then you have your healing. The first thing that should be in that formulation, we are trying to look at the components now, we are breaking it down, is principal herbs. What we call principal herbs. That is the main herbs. That should be number one. These main herbs are those herbs that have the property very pronounced, to address the condition in question. For example, if you are dealing with we have been friends with malaria in this class. Any other acute condition we want to mention? Let's take typhoid for example, right? Typhoid. You are looking for that principal herb is the herb that have got the property, which is anti-typhoid, antibacterial. Typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi, right? Which is a bacteria. So you are looking for what will deal with that mainly. So that is your principal herb. Do we have example of any plant that can deal with typhoid very well?
Turmeric.
Turmeric. What else? Dogoyaro.
Philanthus.
Philanthus, yes. It's a very good one for that also. So that should be like your principal herbs. Now, in disease condition or in naturopathy, one of the philosophies is that diseases are caused mainly by toxicity. It is because the body there's toxins in the body. That is why there's a breakdown that moves the normal equilibrium of the body to another point, which is a form of disease, getting out of ease of the internal state. That is disease, and toxicity is part of the things or the main thing that causes that. And in most chronic conditions, if you analyze the system, you will see that there is high toxicity in there. We are doing detoxification tomorrow, right? That's great. It's very, very important because in fact, in all the chronic diseases you're going to handle, you must bear detoxification in mind, whatever you are preparing. Okay, so that is what we say. The second thing that can cause disease also is nutrient deficiency. Nutrient deficiency. I saw you wrote vitamins, minerals, all of those stuff. As small as they look, the deficiency in them can lead to something serious. So there can be nutrient deficiency in these conditions, whether acute or chronic, although more pronounced in chronic. Alright, let's go. So the next component of the formulation after principal herb should be nutritive herbs. Nutritive, from the word nutrient. So nutritive herbs are herbs that are very rich in nutrients, like the vitamins, minerals, even protein, that are needed in the body. Fortunately, we have got herbs that will help to supplement that. Yes. Examples are moringa. You can include that. Examples of nutritive herbs. Moringa, oleifera. Do we know mulberry? Yes. Have you seen the plants?
No.
You said? The fruits. Okay. That is also very good. If you can get mulberry. Mulberry is 𝗂𝗏𝗏. Is it double R or one R? Double L. Alright, so that's mulberry leaves. Mulberry leaves is a nutritive. Now, in fact, the protein content in these mulberry leaves is comparable to that in moringa leaves. I hope you know moringa have got all the essential amino acids. Moringa. The leaf of moringa. It has also got vitamins, it has also got minerals. When you talk of vitamin C, for example, which fruit do you know is the highest in vitamin C? Pepper, orange, guava, right? But do you know the one in moringa is times 5 that in guava? Guava is actually higher than the one in orange. You get it? Yeah, the fruit. No, but this moringa is the leaves. And if you want to get much from it, use the dried one. But if you are looking for the vitamin content of it, it's better to go for the fresh moringa leaves. The fresh ones, not the dried one. The dried one contains more of the mineral aspects, while the fresh one more of the vitamin. Drying heat and all of those can denature and decrease the amount of vitamins in them. Are we good? We are still mentioning nutritive. 𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗆𝗏. That's also an example of nutritive. 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗍𝗫𝗏𝗏. That's baobab. Do you know baobab?
Yes.
Have you seen the tree?
Yes.
Interesting. Great. The tree. The fruits, okay. So the tree, that's what I'm asking. Have you seen the tree? Very big. Does it still exist?
Yes.
It still exists. In the north, not in the south. 𝗂𝗡𝗤𝗨𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗏.
Yes, in the south, in the forest.
In the forest, yes. Interestingly, I saw it at 𝗂𝗡𝗤𝗏 this morning. Baobab tree.
Wow.
Big at 𝗂𝗡𝗏. I was surprised. I thought.
Please wait. I'll get that information.
Yeah. But if you come to Osogbo, for example, you have lots of them. The tree. Lots of them. Alright, let's go. For this one, you use the fruits. The fruits, the leaves. Yes, for this 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏, we are looking at nutritive aspects of it, right? The leaves, the fruits. The fruits has got a sweety pulp. When you break it, there is, if it is dried or you see the powdery, yellowish, or is it pinkish? That vitamin C, colored vitamin C, that's how it looks. Then there is a seed inside. Yes. Then that outside of it the leaf, including the seed, can be used for this purpose. Nutritive aspect. Alright? Yeah, what does it do? What does it do? It's nutritive. That's what I mentioned.
The content.
The content.
The percentage.
I don't get it. The content, the best aspect of vitamins, minerals, including proteins. Yeah. Alright. Let's mention another example of nutritive. The next component of that formulation for acute condition is catalyst. Catalyst. So what is catalyst?
Alternative of reaction.
Yes, alternative reaction by speeding it up, making you get results in faster time or even improved results. But in normal chemistry, they take part, they help in the reaction, but they themselves are not involved in it. They don't contribute anything to the outcome. They only help to speeding it up, right? But not so in herbal medicine. While they help to speed up the reaction, they also help to contribute their own effects, to that. So when you are using black pepper mixed with turmeric in order to enhance the availability of curcumin, you are not only assessing curcumin, you are also assessing the beneficial effect of the piperine in black pepper. Do you get it?
Yes.
Good. Examples of catalysts. Let's go. Examples of catalysts, we have ginger, we have black pepper. I am using common name because we have mentioned scientific name before.
Yes.
Please don't relax. Master the scientific name. It's very important. Also know the local name as much as possible. Not just English name, but the local name, what is called in your area. Because sometimes you may need this plant. You don't know that people around you, they have information about it, but you don't know the name that they know. So you can just be saying Philanthus. You will say 𝗘𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃. But when you say, then you know, it's here now, come and see it. So it's important to know all of those things. Another catalyst is, let's go over to chronic, principles for making chronic formulation. We will still come back to this. We'll come back to talk about how can we make sense out of these percentages and then bring it to application.
I know you want to hear more details on the percentage ratio of principal herbs, nutritive herbs, and catalytic herbs used for treating various disease conditions. I know you want to know how many spoons will be needed for each of these herbs that will last for 1 month dosage. I know you want to hear many more examples of principal, nutritive, and catalytic herbs that you can easily access in your neighborhood. I know you want to learn the protocol for preparing herbal remedy for chronic conditions. I know you want to know the over 80 plants that can be used to treat various acute and chronic disease conditions which were itemized in this course. I know you want to learn how to prepare tinctures, ointment, essential oils and the likes. I know you want to see pictures and identify plants for treating various disease conditions. Hang in there. You can surely access all these information in details, only if you take the next step of subscribing for the full curriculum of our Natural Medicine online masterclass course. What are you waiting for? Subscribe now.